Hey guys, so today I thought I would film a taking a seat with Shelby talking about my first month and a half of college. I posted on social media and asked you guys if you had any questions you thought I should address in this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into some of those. Hannah asked, what college do you go to? I go to Texas A&M at College Station. Kira asked, what are you majoring in? I'm majoring in communication, and my thinking is that with a communication degree, I'm gonna try to get into the makeup industry and do maybe marketing or advertising for a brand, or maybe be a spokesperson for a brand. That would be really cool. Derek asked, how is life without Mr. Ginger himself? That's my brother, if you're wondering. That's not actually his name, but I do miss my family. I miss my dogs. I miss my friends. College is generally kind of lonely, especially at first, and I think that's a very common thing. I am making friends, but it's a process. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong right now, but it definitely takes a while to like make good friends that you're gonna want to hang out with outside of class. But to answer your question, I've gone home almost every weekend so far because I'm only about an hour away from home. So I don't actually, like, I'm okay so far. I miss Mr. Ginger, but like, I've seen him quite a bit so far. We stay in contact. My grandma asked, how are you adjusting to being on your own? Are you loving the independence? I think I'm adjusting well. I consider myself a pretty independent person. I think I was before I got to college. So I think I'm doing a good job being on my own, and I'm adjusting to like all of the chores and like having to go to the store and stuff like that, and I really don't mind any of it so far. I like to have my own space to take care of, my own self to take care of. One thing you should know about college is that, well, I already said this, but you're gonna be on your own a lot. Like, eating alone is definitely a thing because your schedules don't always match up with your friends' schedules, but a lot of people eat alone. You're never going to be the only person that's eating alone in the cafeteria. Like, it's a very common thing, so I'm getting used to that as well, but that's probably one of the independence-related things that took a little bit more getting used to. Overall, I really like being on my own. I think it's fun. Kyla asked, is it hard? Yes. But I kind of prepared for the worst, to be honest. Like, I've always had the impression that college was just significantly more homework than high school, and like, it's just gonna be hard. So I feel like I was kind of prepared for that. Like, I'm not even that surprised, but it definitely is difficult. I'm already getting better at time management and like figuring that out. I say that, but like, I haven't posted but like one video since I've been in college. So other than that, I guess I'm working on that though. I'm about to get back on my grind. So, but I mean, my mom would always say it's just 13th grade. Like, it's definitely manageable. You shouldn't expect to go into college and just have no idea what's going on, because you're starting at beginning level classes. I'm sure once you get to be a senior, you're gonna have harder classes, but even then, you should already have the background information to be at that level. You'll be ready for the harder classes, you know? And not all of my classes are hard right now. I definitely have ones that are harder than others. But if you avoid procrastination, which I tend to be pretty okay at, then you should be okay. Like, it's manageable. I don't know why I'm advising you. I'm a freshman, I know nothing. I've been in college for like a month and a half. Speaking of advice, Brianna asked, what's the best way to make friends? The thing about being a freshman in college is that everybody is just as desperate as you are to meet people and make friends. Like, for the most part, people want to talk to you. Everybody's really friendly, like overly friendly, if anything, because like I said, everyone's so desperate to make friends too. So my most reasonable, realistic advice is to talk to the people in your classes. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, if you're probably going to end up sitting next to the same people every day in at least some of your classes. And in some of your classes, you'll do group work. I feel like if you go out of your way to talk to people, they will want to talk to you back, and that's worked so far for me, especially the people who are in your major specific classes. Like communication, I'm gonna want to make friends in communication because these are the friends that I'm more likely to keep for the next 4 years. Other than that, obviously joining clubs and stuff is a good way to make friends. Generally just putting yourself in a smaller group of people. Whenever you're in that small group, you just have to take advantage of it and meet the people in it. Kyla asked, have you met any guys? Any stalkers? Yes, and you will hear more about that in my B video. My dad asked, do you use a bike or any other alternate means of transportation around campus? Any stories? Well, very funny, Tom. Yes, I do have some stories. I skateboard on my penny board around campus, and I walk a lot too, but if I have the option to penny board, I would rather do that because it is so much more efficient than walking. You go like 3 times faster, people get out of your way, it's fun. Like, it actually is fun, like I like to do it. As far as stories go, I mean, I've had my fair share of like falling off my penny board. One time I was riding through this area and I came upon a small patch of sand, which I don't even know why that would be there. I didn't even really notice the sand or think anything of it, but the second my penny board hit it, it jolted to a stop, and that, my friends, is the closest I've ever come to face planting. And the funny thing is, my penny board kicked so far behind me once I like jumped off of it. And of course I had to like take the walk of shame to go pick it up. And by the way, people are always really nice about that. Like if that ever happens, if I like hit a big crack and like my penny board kicks behind me and I like kind of have to step off of it, people will pick it up for me and hand it to me. Like I never have to worry about people like laughing at me, even though I do feel like it is a walk of shame and I am embarrassed. So some dude like handed it to me, but within like 20 seconds of me wiping out on the patch of sand, I watched as another skateboarder whizzed past me and did the exact same thing. The man who had seen both of us wipe out like kind of laughed and like looked at me and was like, 2 of you, and I was like, I know. And then my second story, so we have like a walkway that goes under the road. Like this is the main road and then it's like a valley, you know, it like dips under and you can like walk down, and like that's where my parking garage is, so I have to like walk down there every time I'm going to my car. I was on my penny board and I came to the underground walkway for the first time, and I thought I could either skateboard down this thing or I could walk it. If I do skateboard down it, I'm gonna be going pretty fast, which makes me nervous, but it would look dumb for me to just walk down it holding my skateboard. So I thought I'm just gonna do it. Like I kind of mentally prepared myself. I was like, yeah, Shelby, you're gonna be going pretty fast because it is like a downwards hill, but if you just like focus, you'll be fine. I don't know how I could have mentally prepared myself for the experience that I was about to have. I don't think anyone could have. I have never gone so fast in my life. Within 2 seconds of going down that hill, I was already going so fast that I was like, backtracking. I was like, yeah, this is not a good idea. So I started like putting my foot down to slow myself down. I really had just reached the point of no return. There was no going back. There was no slowing myself down. That wasn't going to be a possibility. Fact of the matter is, I couldn't have slowed myself down without hurting myself. But if I didn't slow myself down and I came upon a single crack, I would have broken something, like for sure. I was going so fast, my board was like wobbling, you know? And like maybe if I was on like a longboard or like a regular skateboard or something, it wouldn't have been so dangerous, but I was skating on such a small board. I just don't know what I was thinking. It was a terrible idea and I was so traumatized after it happened. But when I got to the bottom, I made it all the way across underneath the bridge without having to push because of the crazy momentum I had. And when I got to my car, I kid you not, I sat in my car for like 2 minutes and just had to like contemplate what had just happened. I was like reprocessing. I basically decided that I could not drive until I accepted that I almost just died. Like, so it definitely taught me a lesson. I mean, I am never doing that again. Ever, for one. So I had one question left. Valissa asked, are you studying hard and has that been a big adjustment from high school? Well, I kind of already talked about this, but yes, I'm studying hard. One thing I learned after taking my first history exam is that I have to study as I go, like at least for that class. I can't just study a few days before the test. And the difference between college and high school is that in high school, that wouldn't even be considered cramming. Like you're studying 2 days before the test. Like that's pretty early. So for my next history exam, I'm already just reviewing notes in my free time, like especially because a lot of times your exams all kind of line up and like you're taking several at the same time. So like I don't have the time to be super anxious about my history exam when I also have to be worrying about 2 other exams. That's all the questions that I have for today. I do want to mention I'm pretty much just taking basic classes. I'm taking astronomy, US history. Astronomy isn't basic, but I said that first. I don't know. Communication, math, and English. English is my favorite class so far. Really into that. As far as YouTube goes, I am struggling. I'm gonna be real. I was posting 1 video a week this summer, and since I've been here, I haven't done that. They have like a display about stress up in our dorm right now, and one of the things that it said was like, don't give up your passions just because you're stressed. And I was like, you're right. Thank you guys so much for asking me questions. If you did, I guess this was sort of my first Q&A I've ever made, which is actually really exciting, but I'm gonna like, you know, it's cool. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon with another video. I can't even reach the lens. Math is definitely my easiest, but it's so easy that I literally am dying during all the classes. It is so boring. A few days ago, I was going down that hill again, but walking. Some dude like zooms past me on his skateboard, and like I could see his board wobbling. I was thinking, I know that you are keeping your cool, but there's no way that you're okay right now. It's really difficult. Like it's honestly kind of a fire hazard, and last time I filmed a video, I dropped a fluorescent light bulb and broke it on the ground, which there's mercury powder in it, and it just makes a mess, and then you have to air out your room supposedly.